Ladies and gentlemen, I am currently recording this, so if you could not talk while I'm talking, I really appreciate it. We're going to start. You've got your sheet of paper, and you know that it's divided up into these squares where you've got define, term, you've got this bubble thing in the middle. It says over here, draw a picture. And then down here it says key point. We're going to do one of these together, and then I'm going to give you the list of the other ones. You need to take responsibility for it, though. I'm not going to show each one for you. But this way we can have a better organization, and I will make up more of these as we get more words to be able to do this, okay? Let's do the first word. Let's do mid-segment. So right in the middle, I'm going to put mid-segment. Okay? So for a mid-segment, I want to draw a picture. I know a mid-segment means two midpoints. So I've got two midpoints, and I've connected them. I also know it is parallel to the third side, and it's half as long. I am going to go over here to the definition, and I'm going to say a oops, I don't need to type it. A mid-segment is two midpoints connected in a triangle. The mid-segment is parallel to the third side and half as long. Okay. Key points. In order to do a mid-segment or find out what it is, I'm going to have some things. One, I'm going to have to know what the midpoint formula is. Oops, spell this all out. Midpoint formula, which is x1 plus x2 over 2, y1 plus y2 over 2. Second thing I might need, let's close this so you guys can see, is if line to prove they're parallel, slopes are the same. So I'm going to use y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. Okay? And my third key point is distance or length to prove mid-segment is half as long as the third side. And that is y2 minus y1 squared plus x2 minus x1 squared. Do you think this would have been helpful to have on your quiz? Yeah. Okay. So let's go through and fill in the middle of what the other words should be. I'm going to leave this up here, and I'm going to put here other vocab words. Okay. So I'm going to put perpendicular bisector. Two, angle bisector. 3, circumcenter for inner center. 5 points of concurrency. Did I lose somebody? Okay, so you see the middle circle parts? Those are each going to be a different word. And so I'm listing all the different middle parts. Does that make sense now? Yeah. Okay. Point of concurrency. What is another one we need? Concurrence. And let's do the next one, equidistant. Do you guys see how I tried to do it like the whole class thing, something similar to this, and it didn't quite work? I still want to put these up on the wall just because sometimes that's helpful to look at them over and over again. If you forget this at home, you know, you've got them up on the wall, we can organize what goes with what. But I think you guys having an organization thing so you don't have to necessarily do that is a good plan. Equidistant. Equidistant. There shouldn't be a T at the end, there should be an E. Okay. So that's, we did one together, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Which I think is all you need to have, but let me double check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yep. Okay. And we're going to add more today. So you might want another one of these sheets because there's going to be more with today's notes. Okay. I am going to pass out today's notes. Today's note is not me leading it. You're going to do an activity. Okay? I know, it's your least favorite thing in the world. Okay, I am going to pause this recording because we don't need to record me passing things out. All right, so ladies and gentlemen, before the end of the hour, you're going to, on this sheet, fill out these things. 1, you're going to define what a centroid is. It is in your book. Okay? You're going to define what a centroid is. It tells you what a median is. It tells you how to find the median of a triangle, how to make a median of a triangle. So you're going to do this construction on a separate sheet of paper. Who did I lose? Did I lose anybody so far, what we're supposed to do? Okay, Dana, are you looking at this sheet in front of you? Okay, do you see where it says the word centroid at the top? You're going to write the definition right there, and then you can put it on your vocabulary page. Okay? This right here, this instruction, it's 3 steps to find a median. You're going to do that on a separate sheet of paper. You're going to draw out a triangle, and then you're actually going to find a median. Oh. Okay? So I will pass out rulers in a second as well. Anybody else not get 1 and 2? All right, turn it over. There are 2 examples, which if we understand what medians and centroids are, you should be able to do them no problem. Example 1 and 2, and I am going to walk around and help. Okay? Next, we're going to look at altitudes. Okay? Altitudes. It gives you the definition of an altitude. You're going to define orthocenter. Again, it is in your book. Then you're going to construct an altitude of a triangle. You're going to draw a second triangle. So the piece of paper where you drew a median, you're going to turn it over, and on the back, draw an altitude. Okay, draw another triangle. Find the altitude using these instructions with your compass. Then, finally, you're going to do example 6. You're going to do example 2, on the back after altitudes. Okay? So, if you do not have a working compass, if your compass isn't working very well, like it's not keeping the pencil in, but there's somebody else on your desk, maybe you wait until they're done. You do not have to all do this in the same order, 1 through 6. Some of you might be like, okay, I'm going to skim through this and read through this and do examples 1 and 2. Or I'm going to look up the definition of a centroid and the definition of an orthocenter first. Some of you are going to be like, you know what, the hardest part I know is going to be those 2 constructions. I'm going to do those 2 constructions first. My only recommendation is to not do number 6 before you've done number 5. because I think that's going to help. Any questions? You can work with the partner. You can work with your table. It has to be a partner at your table. You may not move seats. You may not turn around and work with the people behind you. You have to work at your table. So there's 6 things here. There's 4 people at your table. You can divvy it up. You can work together. You can ask each other questions. I'm going to come around and help as soon as I've taken attendance. Okay? All right. Go ahead.